Hey, how's it going? So, I used to really be into collecting these steelbook movies, and I have a couple games in steelbooks, but not quite as many. Mainly just because they come in the collector's editions, and I only get the video game collector's editions every, you know, for games that I'm really excited for, which is few and far between. But I was really into collecting movie steelbooks for a while, and I'm not really into it much anymore. And the steelbooks that I have, just because I don't have a whole lot of room. I've been looking at moving here, maybe within the next year. I'm going to be putting them away for a little bit, but I figured before I do that, I just go ahead and make a video showing all the steel books that I've collected over the years. I have seen some bigger collections out there on YouTube, but I do still have a rather sizable collection, I think. So let's get right into it. So first off, we've got 1989's Batman. It's actually my favorite Batman movie. And I do like the cover art. Here on the back, we've got Michael Keaton in his bat suit. Inside, we got the disc and just kind of a plain Jane inside. But still a great movie, great steelbook. We've got Batman Begins. This is actually one of the first steelbooks I ever owned. I got this at a Best Buy probably right around 10 years ago. When I first started collecting steelbooks. We've got a plain inside with the disc. Still a great movie, great steelbook. Here we've got The Dark Knight. I got this at the same time that I got the Batman Begins steelbook. Great movie. Here on the back we got Heath Ledger's Joker. On the inside we got two discs with a plain inside. Some of these other steelbooks do have inside art, so that's why I'm saying that. The Dark Knight. Here we got The Blues Brothers. This is one of my dad's favorite movies, and he used to watch this with me and my brothers all the time. So when I saw this in a steelbook, it was a no-brainer. Kind of a plain inside, plain disc, but still happy to have this steelbook in my collection nonetheless. Next, we've got Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and this is probably my favorite movie from Marvel. Ever since Disney acquired Marvel, I do have some more Marvel movies that I like even more, but from the Marvel or the Disney Avengers movies, that's definitely my favorite. Here we got Django Unchained, great movie from Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino's always kind of been a hit or miss director for me, but Django Unchained is definitely one of his hits for me. I really like this movie a lot. A great steelbook cover. Here we've got Drive. This movie definitely made me a fan of Ryan Gosling. It's got some cool retro cover art, which kind of matches the movie, with its noir feeling. Here we've got Fight Club. It's another one of my favorite movies, and one of my favorite steelbooks, actually. I really like the design on the front and the back. And here on the inside, we've got, a real cool disc art for the movie and a real cool inside cover art with Tyler Durden's famous snowflake speech that conservatives seem to have hijacked here in the past couple years, while obviously missing the point of the movie. Here we've got Jurassic Park, another classic movie, and I really like this steelbook. This one really stands out for me with its kind of a comic booky pattern layout, kind of a plain inside, but I think the outside more than makes up for it. We've got The Last Samurai. I don't really know why I have this one. I'm not really a big fan of the movie. I mean, it's all right, but I don't know. I guess I just saw it. It was like, another steelbook for the collection. We've got Logan, and this might actually be my favorite movie. I saw it 3 times in the theaters, and I've probably watched it at least 24 times since it came out on Blu-ray. And here we've got some awesome inside cover art with X-23 holding Logan's dog tag. Here we've got The Lords of Salem. Again, Rob Zombie's another one of those directors whose movies are kind of hit or miss for me. But this one's definitely a hit in my book. Really like this movie, and when I saw it on Steelbook, I had to have it. The Lost Boys. This is a classic angsty vampire movie from the 80s. It's one me and my brothers used to watch all the time. Saw it in Steelbook, and I was like, alright. Plain inside, but still cool. Man of Steel. I really like the illustration work on this Steelbook. And on the back, it's black and white, but it's got that comic book aesthetic to it, which I really appreciate. And here on the inside, we've got 2 discs. Typical. You got your movie, and then you got the special features, and we've got a good inside shot of Superman. And we've got The Matrix, classic sci-fi movie. It looks like the machine's growing a human there. Plain inside cover art. We've got the Pineapple Express, classic stoner comedy. Not that I'm endorsing drugs, but it's what it is. Hilarious movie. We got the disc and just a plain inside, but the outside's pretty cool, so I'll forgive it. Here we've got Saving Private Ryan. This is this is probably one of the first Steelbooks I own. I bought this at Walmart probably 8-10 years ago. We've got a cool inside collage cover art here. Probably one of the great war movies. Here we've got Scarface. It's a classic gangster movie, and this is actually one of my brother's favorite movies. And it's got a bit of a plain inside, but the outside artwork is pretty cool, so I think it's a good piece. Shawshank Redemption is another one that, in my opinion, is one of the best movies ever made, and I know a lot of people will agree with me on that. Classic. Here we've actually got 2 Spider-Man Steelbook movies. Well, we had the original movies with Tobey Maguire, and it came with the movies with Andrew Garfield as well. Personally, I'm a big fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, particularly Spider-Man 2, but Andrew Garfield did an alright job. But Tobey Maguire is still definitely my favorite Spider-Man. Even up to this point, I do like the new Spider-Man movies, but there's just a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in Tobey Maguire's portrayal for me. So, here we've got Star Wars A New Hope. And I do have the whole original trilogy. The original trilogy is my favorite from all the Star Wars movies. And that's just my personal opinion. If you're a fan of the prequel trilogies or the sequel trilogy, that's cool. No harm, no foul. I know there's a lot of political garbage wrapped up in the, sequel trilogy, but I don't really care about all that. I think that's dumb. But here we've got The Empire Strikes Back, my favorite from the original trilogy. And on the inside here, we've got a shot from the famous Hoth battle. Here we've got Return of the Jedi, completing my original trilogy collection of steelbooks. Here we've got another cool space battle scene from the final few minutes of the movie when they're going to destroy the Death Star for good. Here we've got The Force Awakens. This is the only steelbook that I have from the sequel trilogy, mainly just because right around the time 8 and 9 were coming out, was right around the time that I wasn't as interested in collecting steelbooks. Here we've got Rogue One. I actually really love this movie. I think it's a perfect complement to the original trilogy, in my opinion. Just really well done. I know some people had some valid criticisms of it, but I was willing to overlook those. Here we've got Superbad, another classic comedy from mid-2000s. Bunch of foul-mouthed kids, getting all kinds of shenanigans. Got Taxi Driver from Martin Scorsese. This is a movie that I watched with my dad a few times when I was younger, and it definitely made me a huge Martin Scorsese fan, and I had to have it on steelbook. Here we've got War for the Planet of the Apes. By far, my favorite movie from the newest Planet of the Apes trilogy. I love this movie. And I had kind of lost interest in collecting steelbooks for a little bit, when this steelbook came out. But when I saw it, I just loved the movie so much, I picked it up. Here we've got War of the Worlds. This is one of another one of my very earliest steelbooks that I had gotten. And this is actually one of me and my brother's favorites. Me and my brothers used to watch this movie all the time whenever we used to go and visit our grandma in Illinois, and she had that movie on DVD. Next up, we got Watchmen. It's a pretty good movie. It was definitely hyped up a lot. I remember when it came out. A lot of people really look back on this movie with a lot of fondness, but it's definitely not like, I don't think it's kept the same amount of excitement that say The Dark Knight has. I think a lot of people chilled on it. Here we got World War Z. This is another one. I don't know why I have this one. I mean, the movie's alright, but I don't know. I guess this was right around the time where I would buy any and every steelbook that, I came across at Best Buy or Walmart or wherever I was at shopping here. Here we've got this, famous scene of the zombie tower in Israel trying to get over that wall. Last but not least, we got Zombieland. It's another one of my favorite movies that I used to watch with my brothers all the time. And yes, I have seen the second one. I don't like it. I mean, it's alright, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. Well, that was my steelbook collection. I know I've seen much larger collections out there, but I still think I have a pretty decent, respectable collection, even if I have kind of lost interest here in collecting steelbooks over the past couple years. I'll probably do like a bonus round video or something for my steelbooks that I have with games. I have like 5 steelbooks with games in them. And that's just, most of the time the steelbooks with games come in like collector's editions. And the collector's editions are so expensive, I only get them for games that I'm really excited to play, for my favorite franchises. I'll probably do a video on that here soon. But until then, peace out.